Welcome back to Java, Learn Java in 30 days. Today is day 7 on Java. In today's class, we are going to learn about flow control, why flow control, types of flow control, conditional flow control, looping flow control. So let's discuss on this topic and understand more about programming. So what is flow? What is flow? What is a flow? What is a flow? So we write a simple program, class welcome. And inside the class, we have public static void main string args, open and close. System dot out dot println. So we have some 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's say we have program like this. As we know, Java program execution is starting from main method. So this is the start of main method. This is the end of main method. And each statement inside the main method is executed in the same order it is written. So if you want to understand the flow, execution flow is nothing but it is a step by step Java program execution starting from main method till ending of main method, starting from main method until end of main method, So one by one. So statement number 1 gets executed. After that, statement number 2 gets executed. After that, statement number 3 gets executed. After that, 4, 5, 6, like that. All the statements gets executed. Now this is execution flow. Main method execution started till the end of it. It will continue its each line by line execution. Line by line it gets executed. This is called as execution flow. How a class is loaded into memory, how it is searching for main method, after searching main method, how it's executing line by line, if there are any method calls, how methods are getting executed. This all thing is related to execution flow. This all things related to execution flow. Now here you want to control the flow. What do you mean by control the flow? So once it execution starts here, it will continue till the end. Now you want to control this execution statement execution. This second statement execution you want to control. Based on one condition, you want to control to execute this or not execute or skip. Based on one particular logic, you want to control this execution of the flow. This flow execution should be controlled. So for doing that, we require some flow control statements. We require flow control statements to execute or to skip a line of code in Java. Okay, it is a syntax or control on Java statements. if executed or skipped. Whether you want to execute or skip the execution, you can use this syntax or a flow control statements. So based on that, we can execute the statement or skip the statement. I want to skip the line number 2. If I want to skip the line number 2, then I would like a flow control statements. So what are the flow control statements we have? Flow control statements. So types are two things. One is conditional flow control. Conditional flow control. Another one is looping flow control. Looping flow control. Conditional flow control or looping flow control. Conditional flow control or looping flow control. What is conditional flow? Based on one condition, we decide whether to execute one statement or not. That is called as conditional flow. So how do you write conditional flow? Using if. This is if block, if else block, nested if else block, if else ladder, if else block ladder, if else block ladder. Now switch. These are the flow controls, conditional flow control. These are the conditional flow control. That means based on conditions, we can decide whether to execute one statement or not, whether to execute or no. We are controlling with the conditional flow control statements. Looping flow control. Number 1, it is for. Number 2, it is while. Number 3, it is do while. These are the 3 types of loop controls. Let us understand and learn more about each flow control. So first one is if. So the syntax of if is, you need to write if condition. You write if condition. Inside this, you need to write a condition, and then after that statement, system.out.println, of second. I want to control second statement in the, that is 2. Second statement in the main method, right? So based on this condition, whether to execute this statement, whether not to execute this statement, execute or not. So we can control this statement execution based on the result of this condition. So condition result, generally condition result is true or false. Generally condition result is true or false. Condition result is true or false. So if the condition result is true, then execute it. If the condition result is false, skip the execution. If the condition is executed, if the condition result is true, then execute. If the condition result is false, do not execute. You can control the execution flow in this way. Okay. So how you can write? Based on what kind of conditions we can do. We have learnt about relational operators and logical operators. Relational operators and logical operators. You need to use relational operators and logical operators to control the flow. So let me tell you some scenarios. So who can vote in India? So can a 5-year-old kid vote in India, or maybe 10 years old kid, or teenager, or adult? Who can vote in India? What is the condition if somebody should vote in India? What is the condition with respect to age? Can anybody tell me what is the condition you need to follow to vote? Can anybody tell me what is the condition with respect to age to vote? What age you need for voting? Can 5 years old kid vote, or maybe 10 years old kid vote, or maybe teenager can vote? What age is required? Age should be equal to 18 or above 18. Equal to or above 18. So what kind of relational operators we can use? What kind of relational operators we can use? What are the relational operators? Greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, less than or equal to, double equal to, not equal. So which operator is suitable to check equal to or above? So greater than or equal to. Very good. Very good. Greater than or equal to. Greater than or equal to is important. So what is the value we need to check for voting? They should have at least 18 and 18 above, right? So age should be 18 and above. This is the condition, and this condition should be enclosed within round brackets. Add if. So this is how you can write condition. Then if age is above 18, then you can come and vote. System dot out dot println vote. Otherwise, do not vote. That's it. Otherwise, don't do anything. If age is above 18, then only vote. If age is below 18, do not execute this. Skip the execution. Only two statements, only two things it will do. Now the result of this age depends on the variable. Integer age is equal to 10. If age is 10, now the condition will check. Instead of age, it will be taking 10. 10 is greater than or equal to 18. 10 is greater than or equal to 18. No, it is not. So it will result as false. If of false, then don't execute this statement. Don't execute this statement. So you are controlling the execution of this statement using if condition. If condition. For checking this condition, you are using relational operators. For checking this condition, you are using relational operators. So this is called if condition. This is called if condition. For example, there is one more statement. System dot out dot println of no vote. Now what will happen? If this condition is true, if the condition results true, then execute this statement. If the condition is true, execute this statement. If the condition is false, do not execute this statement. Now, whether condition is true or false, second statement will definitely get executed. You don't want to execute this. You don't want to execute this statement and this statement, both statements. If you have more statements to control, then you need something called if block. You need to write inside if block. So copy and paste these lines inside this if block and you control this statement's execution using age variable, age greater than or equal to 18, then only you can write. Now here, show voter ID. Show voter ID. So this is a statement number 2 you want to control. Statement number 1 and 2 control the execution of these statements with one condition. This is called if block. This is called as if block. When you have 10 statements, more than one statements, 2 statements, 3 statements, 10 statements, 100, any number of statements you want to control, you want to execute them based on one condition result, then you can put inside the block. If you don't put inside the block, what will happen? Only next statement, first statement is considered. Only this statement is considered. So second statement is not considered in this control, So it is always important to how many number of lines you want to control with your if. So if you are controlling only one statement, go for if condition. If you are controlling more than one statement, then go for if block. Go for if block. If block is very important. If you have more than one statements to control. If you have more than one statements to control, if block is very, very important. Now, this is about if condition and if condition with block. So what is the next type of control? If else. So in this condition, we are only considering true. True case, only true case we are considering. Here also and here also. If it is not true, these statements are skipped execution. These statements are execution. The execution of these statements is skipped. It is not taking further. It is not taking anything. So it is skipping the execution of these statements. So we have if else. To consider both true scenario and failure scenario, true and false scenarios. Both scenarios we wanted to do something. Then go for if else. If condition, else, if condition, statement. Statement 1, system dot out dot println of system dot out dot println of. This is true case, I will write 2, and false case, I will write 3. I will execute 3. System dot out dot println of 3. Println of 3. Now system dot out dot println of 2 here, system dot out dot println of 3. If the condition is true, if the condition result is true, it will execute this one. If this condition is not true, which is false, it will execute this statement. Now that's the difference between if and if else. In the if statement, this statement is controlled by if condition. This statement is not controlled by if statement. If you want two statements to be controlled, then you need to use block. In both the cases, we are taking only true scenario. If you want to consider false scenario also, then you need to use this if else. So you need to write condition here. That condition should result true or false. True or false, it should result true or false. Now in this case, I want to take, for example, if age is above 18, then say you are welcome to vote. If age is not 18, then you need to say welcome to voting. Welcome to voting. If age is not above 18, then say better luck next time. Better luck next time. So that next time may be 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, do not know. Okay. So you want to say proper message even in the failure scenario, in the false scenario, then use a if else block. If else, if else. So you need to write if condition system dot out dot println system dot out dot println welcome to voting. Welcome to voting. Now other scenarios always is called else. In else we need to write system dot out dot println system dot out dot println. So here we have only one statement in the if condition true. If the else condition is executed, in the else condition also one statement is there. So only one statement can be considered. Immediate statement can be considered for the if and else. If this is true, then it will execute this statement. If this is false, it will execute this statement. So this is about if else. Now the same, you have one more statement. If you have one more statement, what will happen? It will give compile time error. It will give compile time error. You cannot have more than one statement inside this. This is one of the written test question. If you are getting interview call and you are attending the interview, you are taking test. In that test, you will get this kind of questions. So age is above 18 and you write one more statement, two print statements here. Now what will happen? You think it will print both statements. It is wrong. It will not print both statements. It will give compile time error because this is not inside the block. Then you need to write what? Block. We need to write block. If you write it in block, then two statements are valid. If you don't write it in blocks, so two statements are not valid for if without block, if else without block. So it is very important to have a block. So this is true condition you are executing. This is false condition you are executing. This is true condition. This is false condition. This is true condition. This is false condition. So this is about if else and if else block. Are you clear on these two topics? Can you please respond in the chat? Type C in the chat if you are clear. If you have any question, type Q in the chat. Let me address that question. Very good. Very good. Now, if else, nested if else, nested if else, nested if else and nested if else block. What is nested? Nested means you are writing within the same logic, you are writing one more logic. For example, I'll take a small scenario. If you keep one box is there, one small box is there, and this small box you are keeping in a bigger box, and that bigger box is keeping in another bigger box. What is this one called? This is called as nested. That means one same type is kept inside the same type. So here, what is nested means if there is if, and you are trying to write one more if inside that. Again, you are trying to write one more if. This is called as nested if. Nested if. So you can write else here and else here and else here. So this is how you can write nested if. Nested if. For the outermost if, this is the else block. then this is for this if this is the else block, and for this if it is the else block. It's actually not block, it is a statements. Okay, so when we can use this scenario, for example, if age is above 18, they can directly vote. Do they require any voter ID or not? Without voter ID, can they vote? No, right? It is not possible. So after age is 18, they should have their valid voter ID. Voter ID should be there. Voter ID. Valid voter. Valid voter card. Valid voter card equals to true. If it is true, then only you have to vote. Otherwise, you should not vote. Okay. Now you have a valid voter ID. You have valid voter ID. Now you should have not voted. If somebody voted already, will they get a second time to vote? No, right? Not voted is equal to true. If not voted is true, then you can vote. Otherwise, you should not vote. Right? This is a multiple condition. One condition satisfies, you need to check second condition. If this condition satisfies, then only you can check third condition. Otherwise, you don't need. So in this scenario, what you need to do is, you need to write if condition. Nested if, this is first one. For the first one, we need to write else. Okay. Now here, again, one more if condition should be used. Inside this else, and after that you have if condition, one more here, else. Now this else is mapped to this if, and this else is mapped to this if, this else is mapped to this one. This kind of control is called nested if else control. Nested if else control. Nested if else. When you are having more than one conditions to check, only under one condition result, based on the condition result, you want to continue for the next condition or not. So that is decided by this kind of programs. That is decided by this kind of program. Then system dot out dot println of vote. Otherwise, no vote. Next one, else already voted, so you cannot vote. So I will just say can't vote. Then if valid voter ID is not there, then what you need to say? If valid voter ID is not there, then what you need to say? Apply for vote. Apply for voter ID. Apply for voter ID. Apply voter ID. If age is not above 18, then you need to say wait till your age is 18, right? So better luck next time. Better luck next year. Okay. So this is how you can write the control logic with nested if else. You can write with nested if else control logic. When you have more than one conditions to be verified, if one condition satisfies, then only you can continue the next condition check. Otherwise, no check. So for such scenarios, you can use this nested if else. Now you can write the same thing with block. If condition, open and close flower bracket, else, open and close flower bracket. Inside if condition true, then write if. Then condition open and close, write else. If you write like this, it is called as nested if else with block. Nested if else block. Nested if else block. So here condition 1, In this case, condition 2. This one is condition 3. This is the type of nested if else. You are writing if else block in already there is an if else block. You are writing this if else inside another if else block. Then this is called as nested if else block. 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 So we understood about if with block. Now if else and if else with block. Next one, nested if else and nested if else block. Let's see if else ladder. If else ladder and if else block ladder. So what is if else ladder? When to use if else ladder and block ladder? So when you go to ATM machine and insert your card, when you go and see your ATM machine and insert your card, you will see menu options or choice options, right? You have a choice. If it is 1, you enter 1 and you say you can deposit the money. If option is 2, then withdraw money. If option is 3, change PIN. If option is 4, change email ID. If option is 5, change mobile number. If option number 6, change address. If option number 7, change city. Change city. Like this, you can enter, you can choose any option. You can choose any option. So you want to check option 1, else if option 2, else if option 3, else if option 4, else if option 5, else if option 6, else if option 7. You are checking every condition, every value you are checking, every value you are checking. You are checking every condition in this case. So if you are trying to do every check, then you need to use if, and else in the else case, you need to write one more if. Else case, one more if condition. So you are checking if this is equals to this, or equals to this, or if equals to this. Like this, you are checking multiple conditions, one after the other. One after the other. So if one condition, if one condition is true, then execute the statement here. System.out.println of statement. If this condition is false, then it we should check in the else part. In the else part, there is again if condition. So you need to write one more condition and verify if that is a condition, then only you execute. Condition 2. Then this is condition 3, else if condition 3. It's very important to understand this one. If this condition is true, then it is going to execute this. Else, again one more condition check. If that condition is also true, then check this. If this is not, if this condition is returning false, then do else condition. If this condition is true, then this else condition will not get executed. It will not get executed. So in your ATM machine, if you try to deposit, it should not ask for withdraw also, right? Deposit. If you're trying to deposit, it should not ask you for withdraw also. So that's the important concept here. So if one condition is failing, then you are checking another condition also to make sure that is not considered. So this statement is controlled by this statement. Now execution of this else, this if condition is depending on the result of this one. First condition, if it is false, then only it will execute this. If the first condition is true, it will execute this statement and it will skip all these if else conditions. When this else condition gets executed, condition 1 results false. When condition 3 gets executed, checked if the condition 2 is false. If the condition 2 is true, these conditions are skipped. So this is like multiple times you need to perform condition check. In every failure scenario, you are checking condition one more time. That is called as if else condition, if else ladder. There is block also. If condition is here, then else, if second condition, then else if third condition, then else if fourth condition. Finally, you can write else block. This is used generally for menu options. In your mobile phone, you have menu options. In your Gmail, you have menu options. Anywhere, if you want to choose options, if you want to show options and choose one of them, if you want to let your user choose one of the options, then you can use if else block ladder. If else block ladder. Ladder means it is a chain of else if. When you write like this is called as if else block ladder. If else block ladder. This is if else block ladder. This is if else block ladder. Right? So with this, we discussed about if with block. If else with block. Nested if else and nested if else with block. If else ladder and if else ladder with block. Last one is switch. Switch for conditional flow control. What is a switch? Switch is the advanced version of if else ladder. Switch is advanced version. Switch is advanced version of if else ladder. So there is one advantage. What is the advantage? So in this case, what will happen is, if condition is false, it will check for else and again if condition. Now, if this condition is not true, it will check for next one. If this condition is not true, then it will check for next one. Like this, it will continue its condition checking from first condition to last condition in case of failure scenario. In case of failure scenario. So this is mostly performance issue. It will give a lot of performance issues. So to handle that, we are using switch. This is a switch, 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 and choice. Switch and choice. Inside this switch and choice, you have case 0. Now case 1. Now case 2. Case 2. Now case 3. Case 4. Case 5. Case 6. Like this, last one will be default. Last one will be default. So in everything, you need to write one more statement which is called as break. In every case, you need to write one break statement. Remember this one. This is very important in case of switch. So this does not require break. So if choice is given 0, then it will execute these statements here, system dot out dot println. If this statement is executed, you don't need to check the condition 2, condition 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 like this. You don't need to check because it is matching the case. It is matching the case, then it is executing this statement. You should not continue. So that's why we are writing break. So same is the case for every case. You need to write break statement after your logic, after your statements. After your statements, you need to stop doing it. So this is called switch. This is called switch. Switching flow control. It's very important for you. Switch. And choice, you need to give choice. What is the choice? Either choice is a variable which is having 1 or 0. Choice, integer choice is equal to, integer choice is equal to 1. So first it will check whether choice is 0 or not. Now choice is a variable with 1 value. 1 is equal to 0, not equals to 0. So condition fails here. If the condition fails here, these statements will not get executed. Now the condition will check for the next one. 1 is equal to 1. Yes, it is result true. If it is true, then it will execute these statements. Now it will not check for this one because it is break. Now immediately it will move to after switch case. After switch case, whatever may be the statement that will get executed. After switch case, what is the statement that gets executed? Right? So this is called as a switch flow control. This is called as a switch flow control. Are you clear on conditional flow control? Are you guys clear on conditional flow control? I want everybody to respond in the chat. If you are clear, type C in the chat. I've got 2 responses out of 8. So next, rest of the students, please respond. If you are clear, type C. If you have any question, type Q. I got 3 responses, 5 more to go. I have 4 responses, 5 responses, 3 more people to go. Everybody, please respond. Thank you. Thank you. I have got all 8 responses. Everybody is clear. Thank you. Thank you. Let's do some small exercises. 1 or 2 exercises and we'll move on. Okay. I want you to write a program. Write a program to check if a number, if a given number is positive or negative. Now tell me which flow control, which conditional flow control you will use to write this program logic. If you want to implement this program, which flow control you use? Which flow control you will use to check whether one number is positive number or negative number? There is like if else, ladder, nested if else, switch case. Now which one you will use? Very good. I got 3 responses correctly. Here, one case and another case also you consider, 1 or 2. So true or false? True or false? Both conditions we are taking. So you need to write if else. Whether you want if else block or only if else. So we are only printing one statement. If condition is true, then print it is positive. If one condition is true, then it is positive. Else, it is negative, right? Positive, negative. Now, what is the logic? How we can tell whether a number is a positive or a negative? So, what is the logic? If a number is greater than zero, greater than zero. So we have relational operators: greater than, lesser than, greater than or equal to, lesser than or equal to, double equal to, not equal to. These are the different types of flow control, conditional operators, logical or relational operators, relational operators. Now you are checking relation between two numbers. What is the two numbers? Given number and the another number. So if the number is greater than or equal to 0, then it is positive. Greater than or equal to 0, then it is positive. If it is lesser than 0, then it is negative, right? So I will take a number which is an integer num is equal to 5, is equal to 5. If num is greater than or equal to 0, if num is greater than or equal to 0, then you consider it as positive. If the number is less than 0, then you need to consider it as negative. So this is the logic you write. This is the logic you write. Right inside the public static void main string args open and close, flower brackets open, flower brackets close. Write this inside class program 1. Class program 1. Inside program 1, we are writing all these things. So this is how you use flow control to execute the statements system.out.println depending on the condition. This is flow control. Are you clear on how to write a flow control logic to check whether given number is a positive or a negative number? Positive or a negative number. So let's consider one more program. This program I will ask you to do it. So write a program to find big number of two numbers. Big number of two numbers. There are two numbers. For example, A is equal to 5 and B is equal to -9. Which one is bigger? I want to find out which one is bigger. Now, which flow control we need to use? Which flow control we need to use? So, A is greater than B or B is greater than A. Only two conditions are there here. Two results, two possibilities. Now, first possibility, system.out.println. When you execute this statement, and what you will execute, A is bigger. A is bigger. Another one more statement is system.out.println of B is big. B is big. Now both cannot be big and small at the same time, right? So first you need to write one condition check. If, else. If what condition you think A is big? If A greater than symbol than B, then it is A is big. Else B is big. Now we are considering only two scenarios here. What if A value and B value is same? In such scenario, you need to use if-else ladder. What? If-else ladder. So how to write? First one, if A is greater than B, print A is big. Everybody is clear up to this statement? Everybody is clear? Else if A is equal to B. Else if A is equal to B, then what? A and B are same. A and B are same. Else it is not big, it is not same. Else B is big. B is big. This is if else ladder. This is if else ladder. If you are not considering equal scenario, then you can write only if else. If you are considering equal scenario, then you need to go for else if ladder. If else ladder. So you can write in a beautiful manner, just changing the conditions up to bottom. So else, first thing is condition whether it is same or not. First you check whether it is same or not. Else if A is bigger, else if A is bigger, then you can write system.out.println A is big. Else system.out.println B is big. So this is a better way of writing. Okay. So this, like this, there are a couple of programs. I have already prepared some couple of programs. So I will share this programs list. Now you can use this list and you can write the programs. So I'm sending in the chat. Everybody will receive this one. I want everybody to write some programs given in this list. Maybe some 10, 20, 30 programs I've listed in it. You can practice them. Okay. This is without loops, without using loops. I will send with using loops also how to solve some problems. I will list down another 20 to 25 or 30 and I will send it to you after this class, maybe today or tomorrow. Now you use both of them and you practice them and you send me by before Monday. Before Monday, you have Saturday, Sunday, free time, you can practice. Monday also you have till Monday evening before 7 o'clock, you send me the code. Okay. So this I will complete this and I'll give you time to practice here. And after 5 minutes break, we will continue on the looping control, looping flow control. So take a 5 minutes break. And we will discuss about looping flow control. There are 3 looping controls. One is for, one is while, one is do while. So including this topic, we will consider about the flow control also. And by the end of the day, we will complete flow control in Java. So one good thing is that the same flow control will work in every programming language. That means if you're learning Java here with me, you are learning other programming languages also. But the difference is only the syntax. How you will write else if in one programming language can differ in the another programming language, but the logic is same. Solving the problem with logic is same in all the programming languages, whether it is C, whether it is C++, whether it is Java, whether it is Python, Go language. Up to this level, everything is same. That means you can also practice Python along with this and you can master in that also. So let's take at least 2 to 3 minutes of break, take some water and fresh up and come back. We will continue with these 3 topics and we will give some more programs, exercises on this area. Right? After this, on Monday, we will get started with object-oriented programming. Object oriented programming, what is class, what is object, what is variable, what is method, initialization block, constructor, how do you write the class, different types of class examples, static variable, non-static variable, constructor, why constructor, types of constructor, initialization blocks, why initialization blocks, types of initialization blocks, how to initialize object with state, right? So this topic we are going to discuss on Monday. Today we will complete on looping flow control and we will move to the next topic on Monday. Anybody, if you have any questions, do let me know. We will discuss about that and we'll continue. I will give 2 minutes time. You take a break and come back quickly. After completing our conditional flow control, we are into looping flow control. What is a loop? What is a loop? Okay. For example, loop is repeating a task. Repeating a task. So there are two types of loops. Basically, two types. One is unlimited types, infinite types, infinite loop, infinite loop. You do not know how many number of times you are executing the task. That is called as infinite loop. Another one is finite loop. Finite loop. Finite loop means 10 times, 2 times, 5 times, 100 times, 50 times. You can give finite means number of times you are doing is limited. Infinite loop is unlimited. There is no count. That means one is count based, another one is not the count based, which is input based. I can tell you simple example, infinite loop example and finite loop example. You go to a infinite loop. You go to a playlist. In the playlist, you are playing one song. You are playing one song or one video. Immediately after playing that song, you are repeating the same again. Put it in the loop, infinite loop. There is no counter. Until you stop the system, it will continue to loop. There is one more case also for this loop. One more scenario also we use this loop. You go to ATM, you insert your card, it will work. You remove your card and come out, still it is playing. Not your account, not your doing transactions in your account, but we can see some video is playing, some application is running. Okay, that is infinite loop. You are interrupting that infinite loop with your debit card or credit card. You are inserting card, that loop is breaking. That loop is break, perform the task. Once after that, it will go back to the infinite loop again. Infinite loop again. It will keep playing the same video again and again, completely every day, without any rest. It will keep continuing. That is called as infinite loop. It is controlled by input controlled. Finite loop is count controlled. How many tickets you can issue for a person to visit a movie? Let's say there is a movie, Bahubali is running in a theater. In that theater, there are 200 seats. Now, how many seats you can give? You can give only 200, right? You can give 10 seats, 1 seat also, but maximum is how much? 200. You cannot go beyond it. That means there is a count, definite count, fixed number of count. So how many times you can issue a ticket in a theater? 200 times only you can give. Less than 200, any number of times, not a problem. That means two people are taking, one person is taking two seats. 100 people, 200 seats done, 200 seats are filled. Maybe one person 4, 2% 10, like this you can split, not a problem. So finite loop and infinite loop. When you are finite loop, right, you can use for loop, while loop, and do while. All three are useful in the finite loop. All three are used in finite loop. Not infinite, infinite loop. Infinite loop, while and do while. While and do while is used in infinite loops. Infinite loops, it is while and do while, and finite loop, it is for, while, and do while. All three are there. All three are there. Okay, so infinite loop, while, do while. Finite loop, for, while, do while. So let us see the syntax of for, while, and do while using finite loop. Using finite loop. I will explain this later, but we will focus on finite loop today. Okay. In finite loop also we are using for, while, and do while. Finite loop always works on what? Finite loops works on what? Max count. Maximum number of times you can repeat it. Maximum number of times you can repeat it. Maximum number of times you can repeat it. Maximum number of times you can repeat a task. So max count and count. Count and max count are the two variables which is used to control the finite loop. Which is used to control the finite loop. So the number one is for loop. For loop is, it is a keyword. For is a keyword. You need to use round brackets open and close, flower brackets open and close. This is a for block, for with block, and for without block. System dot out dot println without block. This is without block. This is with block. This is with block. This is without block. And while writing for loop, you need to follow three things. First one is initialize. Initialize statement. Initialize statement. Second one, condition statement. Condition checking statement. Third one, increment or decrement. Increment or decrement statement. This is for loop syntax without block. And initialize condition, increment or decrement. Increment or decrement. Increment or decrement. For initialize condition, increment or decrement. Initialize condition, increment or decrement. So this is how you can write for loop. Now let's see an example. I wanted to print hello 10 times. I want to print hello 10 times. I want to print hello 10 times. So when you start printing, you will count, right? You will count. You will start with 0 or 1. It is your choice. If you are starting with 0, count is 1 first time, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, and 10th. So 10 times. It is starting from 0 and ending at 9th position. How many number of times? Then it will become 10 times. 9 plus 0, that is 10. 0 means one condition. So 9 plus one more time, it is giving 10 times. If you are starting from 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, consider 10 also. If you are starting from 0, maximum is 9. If you are starting from 1, maximum is 10. Now you can use the for loop. As I told, we are using a count, start count and max count. Start count is 0. Count is equal to 0. Max count equals to 10. Sorry, max count equals to 9. If it is starting from 0, maximum value is 9. If it is starting from 1, maximum value is 10. 0 to 9 or 1 to 10. You can take these two variables, integer and integer. So every time the value is incrementing, I am printing some message. What message I am printing? Hello. I want to print hello. This is a statement. I want to print HELLO, hello. So you need to put this one with for loop. In the for loop, initialize is there, then condition checking is there, then increment operation is there. If you are using from 0, you need to initialize with count equals to 0. Okay, count equals to 0. I have incremented. I have taken count equals to 0. Next one, count is less than or equal to. Up to what? Less than or equal to max count. Up to max count. From 0 to 9. From 0 to 9. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Once it is count is equal to 9, you have to continue, and after that you need to break. So you will need to take this as number from 0 to 1. Every time once you're done, you count that, right? Once I've done once, I've done 2 times, I've done 3 times. That is count plus plus. So in this way, it is going to print system.out.println of hello 10 times. If I want to make 100 times printing the same hello message, can anybody tell me where I need to make the change to print 100 times hello? Can anybody tell me in what line I need to change to print 100 times? Same hello 100 times I want to print. What change is required? Where? Tell me exact change what I need to make. This is the code. Public static void main string args open and close. Then public, and you can write a class loop example. Which loop? For loop. Class for loop example. Inside that for loop, I am writing main method. Inside the main method, I am writing int max count equals to 9. Now please tell me where I should write what code I need to change. In this, only one small change, it will print 100 times. Only one small change. In which line we need to write and what statement, what is the change I need to make? Exact code. Max count. That's correct. Max count. We are taking maximum count as 99. Maximum count as 99. So the variable name we are using here is max count. So max count should become 99 because it is starting from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Like that up to 99 we need to take. If it is starting from 1, we need to take 100. If it is starting from 1, you need to take 100. So maximum count will become 99 here if you are starting from 0. If you start from 1, the max count will become 100. The max count will become 100. Are you clear? Is everybody clear? Please respond in the chat. I have got only 3 responses out of 9 students. Everybody please respond. I got only 5 responses. 3 more people to go. 3 more people to respond. Please respond quickly. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for everybody's response. So for loop is starting with for syntax, then initialization syntax, one variable declaration with initialization. Next, condition checking, count less than or equal to max count. Then count plus plus. We are incrementing from 0 to 99. We are incrementing from 0 to 99. That's why we are using count as 0 and max count as 99. Now, if you want to do, if you want to print number, I want to print number from 0 to 9. 0 to 9. What change I need to give in this code for printing 0 to 9? So I want to print number instead of hello. Instead of hello, can anybody tell me what change I need to make to print number instead of hello? Can anybody tell what I write here to print name alone? Sorry, number alone. Starting from 0, it should start from 0 and it should print up to 99. What value I need to change and where I need to make change to print output as the number which is incremented. The number which is incremented from 0 to 99. It is incrementing. Something is incrementing. I need to give that one to print. I need to print that one. First, if it is 0, it should print 0. First, it is, if it is 1, it should print 1. There is something which must be increasing, right? What is that increasing to print? What is that increasing to print? Right, count. Count is the variable. It is changing from 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, up to 99, it is changing. So if I want to print 0 to 99, instead of printing hello, I need to use something variable. That variable is storing 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, like that 99. Now, which variable is storing from 0 to 99? One after the other, which variable? Can anybody tell me which variable? Please unmute and tell me which variable. In this program, there is one variable which is changing its value from 0 to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 like that up to 99. What is the variable name? What is the variable name? Can anybody tell me? You are saying in the chat, but not in the voice. Please unmute yourself and tell me what is the number? What is the variable? What is the variable name which we need to use for printing the numbers instead of hello? So people are saying only in the chat. So let me put that variable here. So you give variable name to the println statement, it will print value of that variable. Here the variable count is starting from 0 and it is incrementing till 99. So this variable, if you pass the variable, it will print the value of the variable. Now it will print. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like that up to 99 it will print. Are you clear? Is everybody clear? Respond in the chat, please. Are you clear on the for loop? Very good. Very good. Thank you for your quick responses. So let us see for the next one, which is a while loop. While loop. Okay. So let me write the class while. Class WHILE while loop example. Inside this class, we write main method. From the day one, we are seeing the main method. So you write main method. Now, I want to know what is the syntax of while. So syntax also, finite loop we are using. Finite loop means one variable should be there. Integer count is equal to 0, starting from 0. Now, what is the syntax? While round brackets open and close. This is the syntax of while. Here, we need to write condition. This is a condition. Now, inside this, we write all the code. At the last line, we add increment operation, count plus plus. System.out.println. I want to print hello 100 times, maybe 10 times only. System.out.println. Println count. Sorry, hello. This condition, if count is less than or equal, less than 10. If the count is less than 10, then print hello. When it will break the loop? When count becomes 10. When count is equal to 10, it will break this condition. Here also the same thing. When this condition will break, if the count is equal to max count, it will continue. If the count is greater than max count, then it will stop the execution. So for loop will be exited. It will be breaking the for loop. Now here also, if the condition fails, this while loop will get break. So your printing statement, your logic, your code is inside the while, and last statement will be count increment. So this is how you need to write. So this is the initialization statement here, condition here, and increment operation here. So for loop is broken into while loop like this. This is initialization statement. This is condition statement. This is increment statement. Very similar to for loop, no change. Only the code, there it is for, here it is, there it is for, here it is while. So this is while loop. Are you clear on how to write while loop? This is while, round brackets open and close. Inside that condition, flower brackets open, flower brackets close. System dot out dot println. Count increment. Count is incremented. Count is incremented. I hope it is clear for everybody. Now next one is do while. Next one is do while. Class do while loop example. Do while loop example. Inside this public static void main string args open and close. We need to write first. We need to write first do. That is the syntax. After that, you need to write while and condition. After that, you need to write semicolon. This is the syntax for do while. And your logic code should be inside the do. Increment also should be inside the do. Increment statement. Increment statement also inside the do. Now, initialize statement will be here. Initialize. Initialize statement here. So let's write a same program printing hello message. First one is integer count equals to 0. Second one do. Flower brackets open. Flower brackets close. System dot out dot println. System dot out dot println. What message I want to print? Hello. I am printing hello. Write condition check inside while. While count is less than or equal to 9. Repeat the process. Then semicolon here. Count increment will be inside the do. Will be inside the do. This is the code for do while. This is the code for do while. When while will be break? When while will break? When condition is, when count is 10, when count becomes 10, this while loop will get condition as false. The result of this condition 10 less than or equals to 9, condition is false. So when while of false, this loop will get break. Here, when it will break, in while loop, when it will break, when 10 is less than 10, when 10 is less than 10, condition fails. Once false will come here, the loop will break. When for loop will break, when the count is greater than max. Here max count is 99. Once count becomes 100, this gives false. This condition gives false. So this for loop is broken. The for loop is break after this condition false. If this condition results false, then loop will be break. Here also, if the condition returns false, condition result is false, it will break the while loop. Here also, if the condition returns false, then it will break the loop. It will break the loop. So this is how you need to write loops. Are you clear on this task? And are you clear on looping flow control? Everybody, please respond in the chat quickly. Are you clear on for loop, while loop, do while loop? I will also give some list of programs for you to solve with for loop, while loop and do while loop. Along with conditional programs, I will send these looping programs also. Anybody, any questions here? I want everybody to respond. I got only 2 responses so far. You have any question, please ask the question. If you are clear, type C in the chat. Very good. I got 4 responses. Very good. 5 responses. Very, very good. Everybody responded. Thank you. Thank you. So we will stop our session here because it is too much for you if I continue further. Today, what we discussed is, we discussed about flow controls. There are 2 types of flow controls in Java. 2 types of flow controls. One is conditional flow control. Second one is looping flow control. 2 types. In conditional flow control, we have if with block, if else with block, nested if else block, nested if else and nested if else block, if else ladder with block, then switch. After that, looping flow control. After that, looping flow control. For, while, do while. So I have given you the list of programs with respect to for conditional flow control. I will also prepare some programs for looping flow control, and I will provide those programs list. So you can practice in Saturday and Sunday up to Monday evening, 7 o'clock, and you can send me your code with output. Your code with output, put in one file. All the programs in one file. Program, problem statement, code and output. Problem statement, code, output. Third program statement, program, output. Like you need to put all of this into files. 2 files. One is conditional programs files. One is looping programs files. You need to send me both the files. I will review your code. If you have any doubts, I will help you to sort out. I will help you to fix the problems. Then we can continue in the next topic. Next topic is very, very important. If you miss that topic, then you will feel difficulty in learning next Java topics. Without the next class, if you attend one single day after that class also, you will not be able to understand much. After 5 days, you will get more and more tough and you will leave it. Every single day you attend the class, you learn, you practice, you will master. 30 days is more than enough for you to practice. 2 hours class, 2 to 3 hours practice, 5 hours every single day you spend. 30 days, core Java, you are topper. Okay, fine. So if you are in college and you don't have that much time, what you can do? You can take all the list of programs I give. You get, whenever you get time on Sunday, every week 1 day or 2 hours you can spend. On Sunday you can spend 2 hours and practice. Like this you continue every weekend. You get in touch with me every week. I will give you some programs so that you practice and you improve your skills. I will also give some list of questions that will be helpful for you to, when you face interview, you will get list of questions. That questions also you can prepare and answers. Question and answers also you can prepare. I will also give the some programs which is already given in the other interviews, which will help you to clear any kind of interview. If there is one interview, 10, if you attend 10 interviews, 7 to 8 interviews you will definitely clear if you undergo this training. Along with this training, you practice. Along with this training and practice, you attend my class, you prepare for your questions also, interview questions also we will discuss. In already some classes we have already discussed and we will be discussing in every class. Okay, guys. So that's it for today. We have discussed about in all the flow control topics. We will continue the next day. Next day is 8th day. So we have already taken 7 days of classes plus 3 days. 10 days of classes are already over. All these classes videos are uploaded already. So you can go to them, go to the each videos and listen to the videos, practice those videos. Then you will be able to do well. All right. Anybody, any questions, any points to me? If no points, then we'll stop the session here. Thank you. Happy weekend. We'll see you again on Monday.